Hello everyone, welcome to rachelpichleryoga. In case we haven't met before, my name is Rachel. Today we're doing a nice full body flexibility practice. I am going to use a strap a little bit today if you've got something to make your arms longer, and a bolster, a cushion, a pillow of some kind to lay on throughout the class if you'd like. Some space to move is always good too, and let's get started. So let's begin today in just a nice comfy seat. If you've got some props to use today, you can place them off to the side for now. If you always cross your legs the same way, also cross them the other way. But comfy mostly. You can close your eyes when you're ready or just look down in front of you. And then take a deep breath in, bringing some more length into your spine. And a deep breath out. Do that again. Take a slow, deep breath in. And let it go. Just that one more time. A deep inhale. And a deep exhale. And you can slowly start to let your chin tip down towards your collarbone, keeping the spine nice and long, but bringing some length into the back of the neck. And then using an inhale, start to roll your head over towards your right shoulder. Keep going until you find that nice stretch through the side of your neck, keeping your spine long. Staying for an inhale, and then use the exhale to gently roll your head back down. You can inhale and roll your head to the other side, checking in that your spine's still nice and long. Find that stretch to the side of your neck. Staying for an inhale. And then letting the exhale bring your chin back down. Pause here for just a breath. And then you can slowly lift your head up and maybe even open your eyes. You can uncross your legs if you'd like. Maybe give your knees a little bit of a hug or a squeeze. And then we're going to be setting up for half a straddle. So let's bring our left leg out wide. Sometimes it helps to turn on your mat so that you know that your leg is actually out wide and not straight in front of you. But just a suggestion. The left leg can come out long. You're going to start to feel some love through your inner leg. And then we can keep our right leg bent and in front of us. Or if you want to go further than this, just going to tip to the left side, and maybe you will start to bring your foot behind you and to the glute. But your knee is still pointing out to the side. So if you were in a full straddle, your knees would be in that same position. So totally up to you and your knees, whether you tuck their foot behind the glutes, behind the hip. Regardless, our left leg is out long and out to the side. You could point your toes up and then maybe placing your hands behind you, pushing into the floor a little bit to keep the spine nice and long. So see how this feels now. If you brought your foot behind you and you want to bring it back in front, you could also do that. You can change things up as you choose. I am just going to reach for my pillow here and bring it in front, just to bring the ground up a little bit higher to my hands. You can stay sitting tall. You can start to tip forwards, but let your knees, your legs decide how far you go, especially if you have your foot behind you. You might end up on your forearms. Keep pointing your toes up if you can. Relaxing through the upper body though. And we'll take just another breath here. And then if you are folding forwards a little bit, you can start to lift back up. Kind of tip over towards the left side if you have your foot behind so that you can bring it forwards. We can bring both of our legs together, give the knees a little bit of a hug or squeeze, and then we'll start to set up our straddle going the other way. So the right leg can come out long. Sometimes it's easier to bring the foot behind first, but it's also nice to do it second, because if it's just not working, then you probably don't need to be doing it. But send your right leg out. That left knee is also off to the side. Picture your full straddle if you had both of your legs out straight. So your left foot can be in front, it can be behind you, pointing your right toes up, lengthening the spine, maybe leaning back a touch, pushing the ground away. And then maybe you're able to take a tip forwards. Feeling those legs. Making sure your knees are happy. Maybe flexing that right foot again. Pointing the toes up. And relaxing through the shoulders. You are folding. Just slowly start to make your way back up. You can tip over to the side if that helps you free up your back leg if it is behind you. Give your knees a little bit of a hug or a squeeze. Gentle rock side to side if you'd like. And then we're going to come over onto our hands and knees. So if you're using a pillow today, have it at the top of your mat, just in case you want to use it. We're going to be finding our puppy dog stretch. Now, if you're able to bring your chest down and your chin down to the floor, down to your mat, you don't need to use a pillow. I'm going to use a pillow, so you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm going to rest my chin on my pillow, not my chest, but my chin. Reaching both of our arms out in front. Now, if you don't want to stretch through the front of the neck, just bring your forehead down to something, your pillow or your mat, and then reaching the arms out in front. So I am going to rest my chin on my pillow and let my chest go a little further than that. That's going to deepen the neck stretch. But if you have your chest and your chin resting on the same height, whether that's your mat or both on the pillow, it could be a little bit less of a neck stretch. So whatever you would like. So I want you guys to stay just a little bit longer here, just in case you aren't quite happy with where you went. Reaching the arms out in front, keeping the hips high. And if you're enjoying that neck stretch, stay. And if you want to take less through the neck, release that stretch. You can rest on your forehead. Take just one more breath here and then use an inhale to lift back up, back into tabletop, onto your hands and knees. You might let your head be nice and heavy here, like you want to tuck your chin towards your collarbone if you're doing that neck stretch. And then when you are ready to move again, we're going to be bringing our left foot forwards. Have your straps close by just in case. Left foot forwards. We're going to heel toe that foot off to the side to set up for a lizard stretch. Sinking into the hips. You may want your pillow or something to be under your hands or under your forearms. You might tuck your back toes, lift your knee for a moment, take the weight out of that back knee and then gently rest it down, sinking into the hips. And then you might stay here, focusing on the hips. If you want to add your back leg into this to get a quad stretch, you might need your strap. We'll be bending our back leg, bringing the foot towards the glutes. Take your time if you're using your strap, hook it around your foot, and then hug the heel towards your hips. Now, if you have your back leg bent, maybe hooked into a strap, as slowly as you can release that. And then heel toe your foot back to the middle of your mat. And then just for a moment, send your hips back. Bring some length into your left leg and maybe try to drop your toes, the ball of your foot down. Stretch your ankle a little bit in this half split. Can stay for a breath here and then bending into the front knee again so that you can come back and into tabletop. Maybe you'll rock your hips side to side a few times, shake it out a little bit, but we are just going to be switching sides. So the right foot can come forwards, sinking into the hips, into the lunge. Have your props close by if you are going to be using them. And then heel toe your foot off to the right. Set up your lizard. Maybe pop the back knee up for a moment. Sink into your hips a little bit more. You can decide if you're going to lower your chest. Maybe your forearms on something to take you halfway down. And if you want to add your back leg into this, you could do it from your forearms or from your hands, but reaching back for your foot. Right hand, left foot with or without a strap. And then if you do have your back leg in the quad stretch, slowly, slowly let it come down. And then heel toe your foot to the middle. Send your hips back a little bit. Find some length through the right leg. Maybe pointing the toes down. Try to push the ball of the foot into your mat. One more breath in your half split. Then you can start to bend your knee and bring that right leg all the way back and into your tabletop. Maybe taking a gentle sway of the hips. And start to cross your ankles when you're ready, bringing your legs out in front. You might take a moment just to give your knees a hug, maybe a couple extra rocks side to side. But then we are going to be laying down on our backs. If you have a pillow to lay on, you can grab it. I'm going to place mine underneath my middle back. So right by the tailbone. So my head and my shoulders will be resting on the mat, and then I'll be back bending through the middle of my back, but my hips will also stay down on the mat, on the ground. This is more of a back bend than if you have your pillow under your shoulders and maybe the head. But you also don't have to lay on anything. You can lay flat. What you would like to do with your legs is up to you as well. And then your arms, place them somewhere comfy depending on the size of your pillow. They might be preventing your arms from being next to you. So if you need to reach them above your head. You can let your eyes close once you've decided how you are going to be laying. Maybe there's a pillow under you, maybe there isn't. Just breathing softness into your body. Feeling the love, maybe in certain areas, depending on how you are laying right now. And then you can either stay as you are, or if you want to come off of whatever you are laying on so that you are flat on your back, you can take whatever it is out. Depending on how much of a back bend that felt for you, you might want to give your knees a little hug towards your chest, maybe even a gentle rock side to side. And eventually letting your knees go if you're hugging them. And you can also start to extend your legs out long if you haven't done so already. Making your way into Shavasana. A comfortable place for you to be for as long as you have time for today. Thank you so much for joining me. And until next time, namaste.